From a bunch of insanely creepy Wikipedia pages to some of the scariest stories told on the internet, here are the top 5 Reddit subreddits that you need to pray before reading. Number 5 on this list is Unresolved Mysteries. Unresolved Mysteries is a subreddit that is exactly what you'd expect based on the name, a bunch of creepy and scary mysteries that have never been fully resolved. Now, I've always inherently understood that law enforcement isn't perfect and that things fly under the radar that we don't know about and might not ever find out. Criminals get free and crimes remain unsolved for years, and that's just something that we sort of need to accept. However, looking at this subreddit just makes you understand how many crimes actually go unsolved, and the number, it's truly unsettling. So many of these posts are of people being murdered, disappearing, things being stolen, criminals breaking out of jail, all of these unlawful actions that have just never been solved. Like, I guess I'm okay with a few crimes not getting solved, but this is actually crazy, guys. Now, granted, there are some things on here that are just kind of cool mysteries, like artifacts that have gone missing and stuff of that nature. But most of the posts here are super dark and really make you question the law enforcement that we have in place right now. Just scrolling down through this subreddit, here are some of the topics that I'm talking about. We have assassination, then we have skeletal remains getting found, then we have a Jane Doe being found, then it's a disappearance, then it's 6 unresolved murders. Like, this is some seriously dark stuff, guys. Honestly, I'm not praying before I read this subreddit, I'm just praying in general that law enforcement can start solving some of these things. Number 4 on this list is 2-sentence horror. 2-sentence horror is a subreddit for those of us with particularly short attention spans. Considering I fall into that audience, this subreddit really spoke to me. The rule here is pretty simple: give a horror story in 2 sentences. Sounds impossible, right? Well, you'd be surprised how scary some things can be in just 2 sentences. Let's read off a couple. Liz Dexit12345 writes, "For 3 weeks I was trapped in that cave, forced to eat my friend in order to survive and see the sun just one more time. As I looked at the sky, there was a searing pain and then a darkness I would never escape from." Shouts from both sides says, "I heard a loud crunch as the dentist was performing my clean. He started screaming at whatever had hatched in my mouth, lashed out at him." Puzzleheaded by 9973 says, "You said I want a lifetime supply of chocolate. This is only 1 chocolate bar." I said to the person running the contest, "I meant your lifetime," he said, pulling a gun out of his jacket. So yeah, that's the type of stuff that we're dealing with on this subreddit. Out of all the ones on this list, I find this one to be the least scary and kind of the most entertaining. If I had to recommend you check out any of them, then this would probably be my subreddit of choice. Number 3 on this list is the Glitch in the Matrix. The Glitch in the Matrix subreddit is a subreddit where people share extensive stories about how we could potentially be living in a simulation and how they have witnessed a glitch. These things can get very weird, and if you believe the stories that are here, then they truly make you question your actual existence. We're talking about time loops that people get stuck in, things glitching positions, people teleporting to different places, things going very wrong that defy the laws of physics and are very reminiscent to that of a video game just totally glitching. Let's read off one of these glitches to give you guys an understanding of what I mean. This one comes in from Ragnar, and they say, "Alright, so this is a very minor glitch, but it's messing with my head, so here you go. The other day I had my younger sister and 2 nieces over for dinner. While eating, I took a picture of us all and then took another picture maybe an hour later while sitting in the living room having dessert. Now, on the first picture, my sister's shirt is very clearly a peach pink color, but on the second picture, it's a dark mint green / turquoise color. Now, I confirmed with everyone that she did not switch shirts, and you can clearly see that it's the same one / cut. I thought maybe the phone camera was off or there was a filter causing it, but everyone else's clothes look the same, so that doesn't make any sense. None of us have any idea how she's wearing different colored clothes in these 2 pictures, so who knows, maybe I've had my first real glitch." This is a super minor glitch, but it's things of this nature that just don't make any sense at all. If you actually believe what these people have written, then it really does start to make you wonder, are we truly living in the Matrix? Number 2 on this list is Creepywikipedia. This subreddit is definitely up there as being one of the weirdest online. The whole goal of this subreddit is to find the creepiest and scariest Wikipedia pages in the world and then share them with the world. Wikipedia pages that frankly we probably don't ever need to see. Let's just go down a little rabbit hole here of Wikipedia pages that you might find if you visit this subreddit. Well, let's see. One of the first thing that pops up is this horrifying Tenor Life airport disaster where we learn about how 583 people died in a plane accident where 2 747s crashed into each other in Spain. Or we can learn about how an innocent man Timothy Evans, was hung after the British police in 1950 completely botched an investigation and convicted the wrong guy. Then literally years later found out that they messed it all up and got the real serial killer. Or if I'm feeling super dark, guys, then maybe I'm interested in this Reddit title, which reads, "The Shijon family was a gang composed of South Korean working class people who literally ate the rich. Their hatred for the rich was so extreme that they would kidnap, assault, and cannibalize them. One of them told reporters that their only regret was not killing more rich people." So yeah, this subreddit is pretty dark. The scariest part about all of this is that these are real events. Wikipedia can't always be trusted for all of the details, but for the most part they're pretty accurate, and the 3 events that I brought up are all real things that did happen at one point or another. This subreddit is basically one of the darkest and scariest places to learn on the internet. If you just want to learn about death, hatred, and atrocities, then this subreddit is for you. Frankly, I'm not that way inclined, and as much as I don't want to be ignorant to what's happening in the planet or what has happened in the past, I'm also not trying to surround my brain with that much darkness and violence. Number 1 on this list is Nosleep. Nosleep is the subreddit everybody thinks about when we're talking about creepy experiences on Reddit, and for good reason. This subreddit is filled with extensive tales of paranormal and creepy experiences people have had. Now I should note that most of the stuff posted on here is fiction, but every now and again you run into what someone claims to be true. Even these fictional stories are super scary though. These tales are typically very long, and therefore I won't be able to read out an entire post during this tiny little entry. However, I will read off the first section of this one story by Feathers and Fire. They write, "I lazily flicked the last watched video away, a cat wearing a helmet fashioned out of a melon, and a live feed takes its place. It's dark, with torches or headlamps making almost a strobing effect in some crusty old building. Ghost hunters or something like that. Not my thing. I raise my finger to scroll again, but at the last second, something catches my eye that stops me dead. The camera pans past a black and white framed photograph on the wall. It's my grandparents on their wedding day. I sit stock still, watching intently as the camera moves forward. I would recognize that photo anywhere, having examined it countless times as a child visiting their farmhouse. It was my favorite picture out of any hanging on their walls." Now that story, as you can guess, probably doesn't end as a fun and warming tale of this person's grandpa and grandma. It was a very well written post for sure, and gets very dark and scary very soon. If you decide that you want to read the full thing, then just be aware that you may not be getting a ton of sleep tonight. Just a warning. But there you have it, guys. That is our list of the top 5 Reddit subreddits that you need to pray before reading. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this list or some other crazy and creepy subreddits that you may know about. Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and I'll catch you next time.